Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, the Law Enforcement Planning Commission met with legislators in the Finance Committee hearing today to review the proposed appropriation that was outlined in the governor's 2018 fiscal year budget. The commission was established under the Office of the Commissioner of the Virgin Islands Police Department, but is only associated with the VIPD for budgetary purposes only. News 2's Stephanie Brown reports.
The Law Enforcement Planning Commission, which is charged with monitoring and evaluating projects and programs directed towards the improvement of the criminal justice system, appeared before the Legislative Finance Committee. The governor and his financial team has proposed an appropriation of over $818,000 towards LEPC in the 2018 fiscal year's budget, and the commission is also set to receive over $3 million in federal funds.
When I looked at your testimony and you say that it takes $800,000 to run a $3 million grant program, I'm inclined to say the young ladies who are very talented that work for LEPC, we can find them employment in other government agencies and we can just get rid of LEPC. And voila, we save $800,000.
The LEPC currently has 10 employees, but post-audit reports showed that the commission had 11.
Okay, do you realize that the post-audit analysis is gleaned from the data that Government House sent to us?
But let me respond to that, Senator. That position was federally funded. The grant
expired?
The grant expired. Now the grant hasn't expired, but the grant can no longer sustain the salary of the individual.
Further, the LEPC is scheduled to receive over $184,000 in fringe benefits.
So in the calculation of your fringe benefits and your personnel costs, have you already considered that, or are you calculating the fringe as we did in FY 2017?
The fringe cost, whatever the fringe cost is, that's what is calculated. It's not different. We're not doing anything different outside of the calculation of the figures.
Senator Hansen further inquired with the LEPC director on a previously proposed youth initiative program.
It is still in the working stage. The do is to gather information, gather statistics, data, so that we can start to put the comprehensive plan together.
For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
As of news time, the Finance Committee was still in session and was expecting further testimony from the Bureau of Information Technology. Well, tomorrow at the Senate, on Friday, the Health, Hospitals, and Human Services Committee will meet at the Loett's conference room to consider a number of topics, including the territory's mammography program, the Louis Hospital emergency rooms, and outpatient surgery. Be sure to count on 2. We will keep you updated. St. Croix Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen has some questions for Human Services Commissioner Blyden, as the Department of Human Services has recently experienced the resignation of both of the CFO, Jennifer O'Neill, and Director of MAP, Ms. Diane Capehart, today, days apart. Hansen, in her inquiry, asked how the Human Services Commissioner sees the Department of Human Services being affected to include federal funding and related deadlines, especially, as Hansen said, quote, "My office is currently trying to aid in the response of MAP clients that are facing life-threatening issues and addressing the employees that still have issues with their cost of living payments, of which I brought to your attention at the committee meeting on Human Services." She further stated that she is calling on Commissioner Blyden to inform the community of the changes being made in her department and how we can move forward in getting the clients and employees what they need to alleviate the stress that they face. Well, Rumina Construction, they are working on the Cookie Point Road, and they are the contractor for the project that is making some changes. They are digging up worn-out asphalt and pouring concrete traffic lanes as well as a sidewalk, but the work has stalled a bit because they say pipes ordered for drainage beneath the road surface haven't arrived. A second intersection where Susanna Boulevard goes uphill has been blocked for several days, forcing residents to go around to the east end. Be sure to count on 2 for the updates. Meanwhile, here's an update on the Northstar Village Road. Public Works Assistant Commissioner of Operations Ron Criqui said work was delayed after crews discovered underground drainage beneath the road that it was about to collapse. He said repairing the drainage involved digging up the road one side at a time. The problem drainage was discovered near the top of the road. Now, as you remember, road work began on the bottom of the road on July 15th. The road has been filled with potholes and residents have started taking matters into their own hands. Work finally began after it was noted that the road was not part of the public road system. Public Works said it needed the road deeded to the government and Northstar Village Property Organization. They met and voted on that to happen. Be sure to count it too to keep you updated on all of the roads. Police are investigating a shooting in Sugar Estate area that left a 21-year-old dead and the community in shock. Here's more. Glenn?
On Wednesday, July 26 at about 6 p.m., citizens called 911 in reference to discharging of gunshots in Sugar Estate area. Upon officers' arrival, they discovered an unresponsive black male individual with gunshot wounds to the body on 6th Street Interstate, Sugar Estate. Medical personnel were on the scene and pronounced the victim, 21-year-old Jason Augustin Eustache, dead on the scene, who was identified by next of kin. The victim was transported to the hospital by morgue attendants. The Major Crime Unit is actively investigating this crime and asking the community for information on this crime or any other crime in the territory. Call the Criminal Investigations Bureau at 340-774-2211, Crime Stoppers via at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911.
Virgin Islands Police Department Cold Case Unit on St. Croix. They're asking for assistance with information regarding the death of Deron Francis, a.k.a. Motto, whose lifeless body was found on Monday, July 4th, 2011 at around 12:23 a.m. in the vicinity of the Randolph Lockhart School, Orange Grove, Christiansted. After a concerned citizen alerted 911. Please help police solve this case. Contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS or www.crimestoppersusvi.org or www.p3tips.com. Crime Stoppers pays up to $2,500 for information leading to an arrest, seizure, or drugs or weapons, and recovery of stolen property. Remember, if you see something, say something. Now, in response to the shootings last week and last evening, Senator Marvin Blyden will be hosting a town hall meeting next week, Wednesday, at Crush Nightclub across from the BMV, beginning at 6:30 p.m. New Territorial Chief McFarland, he says, is expected to be in attendance and will meet with community leaders, organizations, business owners, and residents. You have the opportunity to also voice your concerns and hear directly from him. Meanwhile, another town hall is planned on St. John. That's Tuesday, August 1st at 6 p.m. Senator Janelle Saru will be hosting a town hall meeting on St. John at the Sports, Parks, and Recreation Building across from the Julius E. Sprouse School in Cruz Bay. The forum is open to all. Questions will be focused on the island of St. John or even the USVI as a whole. Well, President Trump's announcement that transgender individuals would no longer be allowed to enlist or serve in the military came as a surprise to top U.S. military leaders. 3 U.S. defense officials, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, including Chairman General Joseph Dunford, were not aware Trump planned to tweet about the ban. The biggest concern is for those already serving in the military. General Dunford told service members there will be no modifications to the current policy for now. All policies will remain in place until the president's direction has been received. Defense Secretary James Mattis has issued implementation guidelines. The Pentagon asked the White House for a written directive spelling out its intentions and directions on transgender policy so military leaders can put a plan together. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch. But welcome to the jungle, the Amazon jungle. Amazon is announcing plans to make thousands of job offers at job fairs across the country next week. The e-commerce giant says it will hire for 50,000 positions at 10 fulfillment centers during Amazon Jobs Day on August 2nd. The company says tens of thousands of the jobs will be full-time, many of them packing, sorting, and customer service. Amazon offers health insurance, retirement, savings plans, and other benefits to full-time workers. Here's a look at the numbers there. We can see the Dow up 85, NASDAQ and S&P down. Coming up on News 2, we have some highlights from Camp Shriver and also a message from superstar diva Beyonce from her dad. He has a message for the Virgin Islands coming up next. Welcome back. The Virgin Islands Port Authority's Board of Governors, they held a regularly scheduled meeting on July 26, and here's a brief summary of the actions. Finance Committee, Financial Advisor, they approved the hiring of CMA, Frasca and Associates as VIPA's financial advisor for a 3-year term. Marine Tariff Adjustment directed, and the Executive Director will conduct a public hearing, which will be available in both districts to inform the public of recent changes to VIPA's marine tariff and the implementation of a new one-time daily taxi fee and a day pass fee for operations at Crown Bay Center. Wi-Fi implementation at VIPA's facility authorized the Executive Director to negotiate a contract with VIA to provide Wi-Fi at VIPA's port facilities. VIA will provide the service free to VIPA for 6 months and share revenues thereafter. Board meeting Crown Bay Harbor Dredging Monitoring approved the payment of an invoice totaling $70,500 for the completion of mandatory post-construction environmental monitoring related to the recent dredging of the East Gregory Channel in Crown Bay to accommodate larger ships in Crown Bay. This monitoring is a requirement per the dredging permit. Unfinished business ports of the Virgin Islands Task Force Town Hall meeting discussion will take place. They approved a presentation to the ports of the Virgin Islands Task Force at its next meeting regarding the development of a new cruise pier in Crown Bay. A presentation will also be made to the community and to members of the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association at separate meetings. Camp Shriver is in full swing, and it's a summer program launched locally by First Lady Cecile DeYoung in 2007 for children aged 8 to 15 with intellectual and physical disabilities. Now, in 2007, Governor John DeYoung Jr. and the First Lady met with National Camp Shriver creator and founder of the Special Olympics, the late Eunice Kennedy Shriver, to initiate bringing the camp to the Virgin Islands. They met at her home in Massachusetts, along with the Catholic Charities Executive Director, Michael Aiken, and VI Special Olympics National Director Janice Lee. Years after, the sports camp continues to provide recreational opportunities for all children. Here's more.
Our goal is to help our special needs children feel comfortable playing in a setting with other children. They learn the game, they learn the rules, they learn the sports, and they learn to have fun. That is why we encourage them to have best buddies. We have volunteers from the high school, and we have adult volunteers that come and assist us, and we have a great time here at Camp Shriver. We take them on field trips, and we try to expose them to different things in the community. We visit the museums, and we bring in people from the community to speak to our children, so they'll learn a variety of things here at Camp Shriver.
We have a good group of volunteers that are here helping us. They love us so much they want to come back every year to volunteer, and that's what we like.
And we're underwritten by Catholic Charities of the Virgin Islands. It's a sports-based camp where we teach our campers basketball skills, soccer skills. They get formal swim lessons from the American Red Cross, and we also teach them kickball skills.
Good job there, Camp Shriver. Archaeologists from around the Caribbean and Europe, they are gathered for the opening and continuation of the International Association for Caribbean Archaeology Congress, held for the first time in the territory. And that's on St. Croix with a focus on youth participation. Here's more as the event continues. More than 140 archaeologists from 20 Caribbean nations, as well as France, England, Holland, Denmark, Canada, and the U.S., were participating in a 5-day event.
I want people to get into the archaeology and the history of these islands. It's important. It's where these islands came from, where the people came from.
On Monday, presenters from Curacao, the Dominican Republic, Anguilla, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Guadeloupe talked about their projects, which were translated into Spanish, French, and English as they spoke.
One of the great things about this Congress is that it's trilingual. You can present English, French, or Spanish, and standing against the back wall here are a series of interpreters who will interpret your paper in your language into the other two languages.
For many of the scientists here who come from all over the world, many of them have their specializations, and that new research, the newest stuff they've been finding, that's really one of the big keys for us to be here, because those materials won't actually be published until a year or two from now.
Topics discussed during this conference included climate change, cultural resource management, settlement patterns, historical archaeology, and pre-colonial archaeology. The sessions were free and open to the public.
We've spent a couple of days here discussing pre-colonial archaeology, the art of the pre-colonial people, the spatial distribution of how they lived here in the West Indies and the Caribbean. We're about to go on to some of the archaeology of enslavement, how the enslaved people lived here.
With our new technologies, every year, you know, scientists are coming up with new technologies, and we are now able to have a much more profound image of that earliest group. We call it the Archaic Age, because it's so ancient we don't even have an ethnic name for them.
Now, over 100 papers were presented during the conference. We are reminding you about a whole 3 days of hair, fashion, and makeup this coming weekend that is sure to be entertaining and educational. It's also an opportunity to learn how to spruce up your looks and always put your best face forward. And it's from July 28th, Friday, to Sunday the 30th. On Friday, it's the VIP party, Saturday, the model runway party, and Sunday, Neon City Fashion Gala. Now, it's for everyone who wants to learn the latest trends. And if that's not enough encouragement, we all know superstar diva Beyonce Knowles. Well, maybe her father can encourage you because he too will be here. Mr. Knowles?
Hi, Sandy. This is Matthew Knowles, and I look forward to seeing all of you Saturday at 12 noon at Bernays Hair and Fashion Show at the Sugar Bay Resort for my lecture and book signing of my new award-winning book, The DNA of Achievers. See all of you there Saturday at noon.
Okay, and fashion and health go hand in hand. VI Lottery was the recent sponsor of a health awareness and fitness walk just this past week. And in keeping with the theme, if you purchased tickets for today's drawing, you would have noticed the beautiful images of tropical fruits. Now, they say 1 in 8 people who play the VI Lottery are winners. Could it be you? Here are the winning numbers drawn earlier today.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on NEWS2. Here are the top prizes. 5th prize for $20,000, 27689. 27689. 4th prize for $30,000, 8247. 8247. 3rd prize for $40,000, 32539. 32539. 2nd prize for $65,000, 23037. 23037. And the winning ticket number for the grand prize for $175,000 is 30176. 30176. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is August 10th. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
Stick around. News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.
Well, things are pretty quiet right now. We're really in between 2 tropical waves. So for tonight, it's going to be pretty pleasant. Taking a closer look at Puerto Rico, well, we certainly saw some thunderstorms move through here earlier today. Downpours. Some people saw 2 to 3 inches in Puerto Rico. For us, though, it's quiet, not much rain going on. So 80 degrees tonight with a shower or 2 expected, which is very typical trade wind type of activity. St. John tomorrow, 89 degrees with a shower or two. St. Thomas 89, again with a shower or two, and St. Croix 91. And again, it's going to be mostly sunny and just beautiful out there with those very brief, very light showers passing through. The Atlantic side, 1 to 3 feet for our waves. The winds out of the southeast at 10 knots. We don't have any advisories to tell you about. And the Caribbean, 2 to 4 feet for the waves. Southeast, 5 to 10 knots. So go ahead and enjoy the ocean. If you're fishing, swimming, snorkeling, just make sure you are being careful as always. Now, we are going to see an uptick in some shower coverage here toward the end of the weekend because we will have another tropical storm heading in our direction. So it's not going to be anything major, just an uptick in showers, and then sunny, beautiful conditions through Tuesday. Very light activity as far as wet weather. Temperatures reaching the 90s on Monday and Tuesday for the highs, and the lows, well, it's going to be hot and humid here the next couple days. Our lows are in the 80s. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that. Our weather pictures by Mikhail Francis of Great Minds Summer Learning Academy. Beautiful sunshine there and greenery. Mikhail, hope you're enjoying your summer camp there. Send us your News 2 weather picture to be featured to the address on the screen, and then tune in to see it right here on News 2. We have much more straight ahead. News 2 Sports comes your way next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. The FIBA Central Basket U17 Men's Championship got underway yesterday in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. The VI is part of an 8-team field where the top 3 finishers will go on to the Central Basket Americas U18 Championship in St. Catharines, Canada, June 11th through the 18th in 2008. The VI tipped off yesterday versus Jamaica on its quest for gold. The game was even during the first quarter. Zion James with the first VI hoop and the foul. The St. Croix Central High School product finished with 16 points, shooting 4 of 12 from the field and 2 of 5 from three-point land. The VI pulled away in the second quarter, outscoring Jamaica by 13 points. Jazz Farrell led the way with a game-high 19 points on 7 of 14 from two-point land and 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Both teams shot relatively poorly from the field at 33%. The difference was the free throw line, where the VI shot 75%. Team VI led by as many as 16 points and went on to win their first game 69-61. Next up is the host country, the Dominican Republic, at 7 p.m. tonight. Go to the website below for info on watching this game live via streaming on YouTube. In December of last year, the Wounded Warriors amputee softball team visited St. Croix and played a group of St. Croix All-Stars to a packed house at Canagata Ballpark. Yesterday, Ben Mitchell and Wounded Warriors volunteers met to begin preparations for their return to the VI in 2018.
We had a fantastic, successful event last December, and we're going to take some time now and see if we can make this bigger and more effective. So I came down here to work with Senator Sanders' office, Melissa, and a few members that I have here to create a core committee to start doing some fundraising and spreading the word so that we can bring the Wounded Warriors back down here sometime in 2018. We brought down 12 of the Wounded Warriors last year along with the spouses, and I can tell you the guys are ecstatic. All of them have been asking, hey Mitch, are we coming back to St. Croix? I told them yes, but I want to make sure that this time we also visit St. Thomas. So I'll be working with Rashidi over in St. Thomas to see if we can coordinate a game where we get some players from St. John and St. Thomas, kind of like an all-star team, to play against the Wounded Warriors from St. Croix. And this time I think we're going to bring 15 of the guys, and it's going to have 2 ladies this time on the team.
We want to give back because you know what? St. Croix, the Virgin Islands, you guys were amazing for us, for Ben and I and my family. So it's all about giving back. So look out for us. We're coming back. It's going to be short but sweet.
That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Nice highlights there. Welcome back, Ben, Griselle. So nice to have you guys in the territory as well as the whole team. Gary, thanks for those highlights. That's all for this edition of News 2. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sandra Guman Singh. We'll see you next time.